And it looks like we are live. I just gotta see where we are at. So just give me 1 second as my YouTube studio loading up. All right. Just taking care of some things really quick. All right. There we go. All right. Hello, everybody watching tonight. Welcome back to the Ricky B. Avenue Show podcast YouTube channel. Thank you so much for spending your day, evening, night, wherever you're watching and whenever you're watching. We're glad you're joining us here because we have a little bit of time together to talk about the 2021 NFL playoffs. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking that, the NFL playoffs is just going to be, almost the same teams going in. Not the case. Because, and yes, I'm referring to the New England Patriots. No. They're eliminated from the playoffs this year because of their record, I believe, and I don't know. So, by the way, though, for those that are new to this channel, by the way, though, I am doing this live stream via StreamYard. Let me point my finger up to the logo right over here. There we go. Power technology. I can actually do this live stream professionally and put some, like you see right here, the date today. It is Monday, December 28th of 2020. We are literally just a few days away from 2021. And I really want to make this quick announcement really quick. I will be planning on doing a New Year's Eve live stream at 11 p.m. Eastern. That'll be 10 p.m. Central in the U.S. Coming up on New Year's Eve. I'm going to be on for probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours as we get ready to wrap up 2020 and say hello to 2021. It's really, really, it's a really good time, to, chat with you guys here on YouTube, talk about what's been happening throughout 2020, the good stuff of 2020, I should say. So we're going to get to all that coming up on New Year's Eve. And then at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S., we're going to count down together to 2021, as I will be not in here, but I will be in a different room, in a different area of here, coming up on New Year's Eve, that I hope goes well, and hopefully we can actually get some views out of that, and then hopefully, I don't know why my lips are a little bit itchy. I apologize in advance. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I do see that we are live. I just saw that to the left, where I see on my computer screen, my monitor screen right here, in front of me. It says we are 22 seconds into this live stream. So welcome back to the Ricky BMU Show podcast YouTube channel. It is Monday, December 28th of 2020. We are so happy to be here after, 5 days or 4 days, I should say, of not doing any podcast videos because, I've been running low on ideas and it's pretty good that we get a chance to talk about the 2021 NFL playoffs. We'll get to all those details coming up in a couple minutes. But first, I do have a couple announcements I do want to remind everybody about. Next Monday or sometime next week, we will be in the first full week of 2021. That means the Ricky BMD Show podcast YouTube doing podcast content, one topic per live stream. And we're going to do it every other day with the exception of the weekends. I'm going to try and do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but if I have to do it Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday be the day where I prepare, stay tuned for details. As a matter of fact, though, you can follow me on Twitter at Podcast Ricky. The link, the Twitter link, by the way, is in the bottom of your screen, scrolling through the bottom of your screen right now. So definitely check it out. I will try and post a little bit of an announcement date of when the live podcast that you're watching right now will be doing coming up next week. So definitely something to check out. Another thing I want to tell you guys about is we're going to be doing a live stream on New Year's Eve at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central in the U.S. You do not want to miss one of the most amazing live streams here on YouTube that yours truly right here will be a part of. I'm going to basically talk about what's been happening throughout 2020, the top stories of 2020, and a preview of 2021 for this channel, and also a preview of what 2021 is going to look like going forward in terms of good news, I hope. Also, we are going to be doing something really special for the NFL playoffs. As you know, the title of this video you're watching right now, we're going to talk about the 2021 NFL playoffs for sure. We're going to preview it. We're going to try and get some predictions in and see if your team's going to make it into the playoffs or be eliminated from the playoffs. Right now, there's a few teams in the NFL I'm going to talk about, primarily the Cleveland Browns and a few other teams in the NFL playoff picture, leading up to the final week of the National Football League's regular season. We're going to talk about that coming up momentarily. But the NFL playoffs is coming up and beginning on January 9th. January 9th and January 10th. There will be at least one or two live streams in those first, wild card games. As you know, I'm going to be, in a different area of here, possibly, or right here, probably not right here, but probably in a different area, but you'll see me in a different area for sure. But we'll get to all those details when the time comes in terms of where I'll be doing a live stream from here and out. But January 9th and January 10th, mark that on your calendars because, the Ricky BMD Show podcast will be talking about the NFL playoffs. We're going to give you a full breakdown of what's been happening in the first quarter all the way from the beginning of the game and the preview of the game, and then also throughout the game and at the end. So stay tuned for details. You can, again, follow me on Twitter at Podcast Ricky. It is scrolling at the bottom of your screen. We'll let it scroll one more time through so that way you guys can see the Twitter page the Twitter handle that you can follow me for details on as well. So I think I covered everything so far. But don't forget, if you're new to this channel, we encourage you guys to hit the red subscribe button. As you know, we're only at 1 subscriber so far. So if you're watching this, even after the podcast is done and not live anymore, you can go ahead and hit that red subscribe button as well. Because, when we get new subscribers to this channel, that means this channel is doing well, and the success for me will go well as well. So definitely something to keep a close eye on for sure. All right. So the NFL playoffs is coming up in just a few days. As a matter of fact, though, at least 10 or 11 days from today. And I forgot to show you this. Little reminder. 2020 is almost over, everybody. Woohoo! Friday, January 1st of 2021 is on the horizon. So I just want to make everybody happy and ready to go. And if you're not ready for 2021 or a new year yet, well, that's okay, because not everybody will probably be ready yet for the new year to come. However, I am ready, but we'll see what happens. So today's topic we're going to talk about is the 2021 NFL playoffs preview and predictions. By the way, though, the Twitter page is right over here, Podcast Ricky on Twitter, and you can follow me there for the latest information as well. All right. I should probably leave that up there. Hold on, let me put the graphic back up here. There we go. All right. Power of technology. I can actually do pretty much almost anything. So the 2021 NFL playoffs is on the horizon. As you know, this is part of an expanded postseason that last season the NFL the National Football League did announce that at least a few more teams will be added to the NFL playoffs, giving teams that have not made it to the NFL playoffs in years past, that are looking for an NFL playoff spot, can possibly win an NFL spot coming up after week 17. Now, as you know, I want to make this announcement really quick from myself to you. As you may or may not know, I used to be a Cleveland Browns fan back a long time ago, and then from 1999 to 2009, and then when the Browns came back, of course. Which, by the way, they're a pretty good team right now. They're a great team, to say the least. I'll talk more about that in the predictions, but I'm probably talking about 10 minutes already. I just got to get on with the video before people realize that I'm off topic. And then I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, January 4th, 2010, through this past Saturday, December 26th of 2020, and then the Cleveland Browns spirit came right to me and said, please be a Cleveland Browns fan. You will not regret it. So I became a Cleveland Browns fan to this day, and I am proud of it. Even though the Cleveland Browns are possibly one win away from the playoffs or one loss away from being eliminated, even though they have a winning record. Which is really confusing, to say the least. Like, why have a winning record in the NFL and not make it to the playoffs? It's different when you're 8-8 and you can maybe make the playoffs or not. But when you have a higher record in the win column, that's when things can get a little bit messed up right there. All right. NFL playoff picture looks like this. You're not going to see it, but you're going to hear it from me. BleacherReport.com is the source I am using right now. They are really great at what they do, talking about the best in sports. And in the AFC, we got division leaders of Kansas City. By the way, though, they're 14-1 after a 17-14 win on Sunday in week 16. They played a pretty good game. It was close by 3 points. They have clinched the AFC West division title and the number 1 seed. Also, they got a first-round bye, but we'll see what happens with Kansas City, if they're going to go all the way for the Super Bowl. If not, then we got the next team in line, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I was still a Steelers fan, Pittsburgh fan of the NFL, then, of course, I would probably be excited for that. But I think, the Cleveland Browns are the best team in overall to go to the playoffs for sure. They're 12-3. They have clinched the AFC North by a good reason why they have clinched the AFC North division is because they were down 21-7 in the third quarter, but then came back by, it was by about 21 points. That is 3 touchdowns and 3 good field goals. With about 7 minutes, 38 seconds in the game, in the fourth quarter, the Pittsburgh Steelers came back and defeated the Indianapolis Colts. Now, if you're watching it, Indianapolis Colts fan, I honestly feel bad for you guys because I was hoping for you guys to win. But for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they just came out of nowhere in terms of the score itself. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are AFC North champions. First time since I think 2017, and they've clinched a few different times, but yeah, we'll see how well that goes in terms of where the Steelers stand and where the Chiefs stand. It might be Kansas City and Pittsburgh in the division for sure. So we'll get to all that in our predictions coming up. Tennessee Titans. Oh, actually, we forgot the Buffalo Bills. They are 11-3. They have clinched the AFC East division, so that's great news if you're a Buffalo fan. And then Tennessee Titans, 10-5. Now they're one of the 10-5 teams that are in the National Football League right now. You got in the wild card leader spot, you got the Miami Dolphins at 10-5, the Baltimore Ravens at 10-5, the Cleveland Browns at 10-5, and then in the playoff hunt, you got the Indianapolis Colts are 10-5 after their devastating loss in week 16. So, where do you stand in terms of these 5 NFL teams? Well, keep in mind though, this will have to determine on week 17. Week 17 is going to determine which NFL teams that are 10-5 currently right now could make a difference or a statement in terms of where they stand in the NFL's playoff race. The Browns right now of Cleveland are still in. The teams that are 10-5 are still in. However, let's say, for example, Tennessee loses in week 17. They may be eliminated. Miami Dolphins, same story, could be eliminated. Baltimore Ravens could be eliminated. Indianapolis Colts eliminated at 10-6. Then you got the Cleveland Browns. If they get a win over the Steelers of Pittsburgh Steelers to be exact, I believe in Cleveland, Ohio, or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, they will go 11-5 and they will be in the playoffs as a wild card team. No way of the division yet until the Browns get past the wild card spot. And you never know, that might be one of the games of the week. Our game of the week could be the Browns and whatever team they play. So, definitely something good. Now, here's how this will go down. The Titans or the Colts will probably be the AFC South champions. And in week 17, though, if Tennessee beats the Houston Texans, the team they are playing, the division will be in the hands of the Tennessee Titans in the AFC South. Tennessee will also win the division if the Indianapolis Colts loses to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm talking about all these games in week 17. So you probably want a win for sure over the Houston Texans and then get the division just like that. But you will also need some help if Tennessee wins for Tennessee to win the division, you need some extra help from the Indianapolis Colts. No, I meant the Jacksonville Jaguars, excuse me, because you want the Indianapolis Colts to lose. Speaking of the Indianapolis Colts, next one in line. They can also win the AFC South if they get a win and the Tennessee Titans will lose. I would say Tennessee will probably make the playoffs as a wild card team if either of these scenarios, work. Baltimore Ravens that go up against the Cincinnati Bengals, so you want the Cincinnati Bengals to win and Buffalo to win to result in Baltimore and Miami losing, and then you got a wild card spot altogether. The Miami Dolphins, by the way, I'm going to talk about you for a second. You guys have witnessed history this year, being one of the only teams in the NFL because to go undefeated. But I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the Miami Dolphins are like the one team that had a perfect season and then had a perfect postseason. The New England Patriots, by the way, had a perfect season, I think, a few years ago, back in 2007, I think, and then you did not make it through the playoffs undefeated. I do not believe. I'm going to get to all those details and then talk about it when it comes to NFL playoff time, and we'll give you guys the full insight. Miami Dolphins, by the way, could clinch a wild card spot if they win, or a win for sure will probably be good because you need to win if you want to win a wild card spot. You will also need some help, and this does include the Browns. The Ravens, Browns, and the Colts have to lose in order for the Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, to get in the wild card spot of the NFL playoffs. I would say this. If Miami misses the playoffs this year, they would be 10-6, and I think this will be a really devastating year for Miami fans. Who knows? Now, the Ravens, by the way, have been in the playoffs so many different times, but I'll get to all that in a moment. But I'm going to go back over here and see if we actually have a viewer watching. Some of you guys watching, but we got nobody watching. So, hold on, guys. There we go. All right. Back to what I was talking about here. Excuse me for a second. My nose was itchy, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all that. All right. So, the Baltimore Ravens will either have to win for sure or have the Browns or the Colts to lose in week 17. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Baltimore has been in the playoffs a few times, different times. This is the point of the video. I'm going to say this. If you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, you want to be in the playoffs. But I don't see the Ravens getting into the playoffs easily in 2021. It would probably be for a 2022 appearance in the playoffs. So that's just reality right there, everybody, because, yeah, excuse me on that. By the way, though, the Cleveland Browns, yes, the Cleveland Browns can be in the playoffs. The Browns have a chance to get to the playoffs in Week 17 and end their long playoff drought in NFL history, I believe. At least 18 seasons. I think that's the longest drought in the NFL for sure, going back to the 2002 season. If they win, then they're in. They win, they're in for the Cleveland Browns. If the Colts lose, then the Cleveland Browns. They would also have a chance to be in the playoffs if the Titans both lose, or if the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans lose, and you got the Miami Dolphins, Baltimore Ravens, and the Indianapolis Colts with a victory. So that's a good scenario I see right there if you're a Browns fan for sure. So one of these 10-5 teams will end up missing out on the postseason. Now, this is going to be something good. And I think if it all goes through well, and I'm going to talk about the NFC playoff picture coming up in our next podcast leading up to the NFL playoffs, but because I don't want to be on here forever, but even though I do love what I do here on YouTube, is providing content to you guys and hopefully enjoying great information as well. So definitely something to look forward to. All right, well, that does it for our podcast here this evening. Thank you so much to everybody that's watching so far. Even though we have no viewers at this time, but I'm sure we'll have some viewers when it comes to like later on today. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. I'm going to put this back on the screen here. Don't forget to please hit the red subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to hit the like button to like this video. And also don't forget to share this live stream with everybody that you know. It's going to be a great one. We got one more live stream of 2020 coming up, and then that will probably be on Thursday night. New Year's Eve, by the way, is our next live podcast that we're going to have here, our New Year's Eve special. If you can please follow me on Twitter at PodcastRicky, as you see on the screen right here. Sometime within the next couple days, I will post some information about that, and look forward to being here on YouTube, bringing you guys a great New Year's Eve live stream as we get ready to say goodbye 2020 and hello 2021. All right, have yourself a great night, everybody. Until New Year's Eve, we will talk to you guys very soon. Have yourself a great night and a great few days, and we'll talk to you guys on New Year's Eve. Thanks for watching, and good night, and yeah, the NFL playoffs is coming, And we got a lot of good stuff coming up in 2021 topic wise. We'll talk about that New Year's Eve. Thanks for watching.